1 second, here, guys. Jeff, you should. There we go. We're live on YouTube as well. Jeff, you should be able to unmute.
Morning, sir.
There you are. Good morning. Hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable July 4th weekend. We're all here, right? and awake, so I guess that's a plus.
It was nuts, man.
And you wore your blue shirt. Look at that. We both have blue shirts on today. You got the memo.
You got to get the uniform on to be ready to go.
I have one that matches even more, but maybe next time.
Yeah, it's a little creepy. I appreciate you not doing that.
All right. We have to do it. We have no choice.
Well, I lost my AirPods this weekend, so that's always fun.
You had 2 sets.
We don't need to make a spectacle about things.
No, we do actually. I feel like we should pivot the meeting and only talk about you losing your AirPods. Oh God. Well, I think we should dive right in. I do want to just point out a couple things. We sent a push notification, but I don't think it went out to anyone with iPhones. So we did make a couple updates in the app. If you've not seen them, we went ahead and added in a lot more trainings. So if you go under the daily trainings, I added in pretty much all of the trainings from the last 2 years are now in there. So you should be able to go in and watch those and go back to anything that you need, or if you're new to us and you want to go explore, those should be on there. And we made a couple other small little changes, nothing major. And we have a couple more kind of features coming, but just want to point out that those are in there. So if you're using the app and you want to take advantage, there's some more content in there for you.
And give us some feedback too, guys. If you guys are using it, what you guys think about it and what you want to see going forward, because this is obviously a very fluid thing and we're stoked about it. So check out the app and have fun with it. All right. So Puma and I were talking about what should be talked about this morning. And I'm going super tactical on this, guys, because we've never seen this market before, right? No one's ever seen this market before. And it is really, really an amazing time, but it's a really scary time because if you have a really cool store in the mall, right? Bad example right now because nobody goes to a mall, but if you have a badass store and everybody wants your stuff, as soon as you sell out of stuff, you're out of business, right? You got it? And you guys have a store that people are walking into and they don't like what's on your shelves and you're almost out of it. So we have to replenish our shelves or we're going to not have a good business, right? That's just the facts of the world real quick. So if you talk about that, shocker that I'm going to talk about getting listings because that's what the main focus is here. But I'm going to go super simple because remember, the easiest way to get business is to get it from people that know you, like you, and trust you already. So we're not going to go anywhere deviate off of that right now. And this is for those of you who have past clients, those of you who have a sphere, those of you who know people, okay? Which is pretty much 99.9% of you in this business. Those of you who are not, which we have some that don't have a lot of people, then we'll get some other pillars, but today's pillar is really not for you, right? But this is for the 99.9% of the world that way. So what I was talking about, I wanted to role play just a situation, and let's say Puma is one of my contacts. And what do I want to do with Puma to make sure that he becomes a bird dog for me, right? Because if I have a couple thousand people in my network, right, whether it's Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or past clients or Sphere, friends just in general, that's a big audience that if we're not leveraging properly, we're kind of missing the boat. But more importantly, you have a core group of, call it 20, 30, 50 people that is probably your cheerleading squad. These are people that you know that like you. These are the people that comment on your stuff regularly. These are people that like the posts that you put out there. This is your tribe, okay? So what we're talking about today is how are we going to leverage this tribe to teach them to find business for you, okay?
Well, I think I think we need to start though with the understanding of human behavior and how it works, right? Because a lot of times when we get into the marketing mindset, we kind of throw logic and human behavior out the window. But in reality, that's exactly what effective marketing does, is it takes advantage of human behavior, right? So I spent a lot of my time really understanding and spending time trying to figure out, why do we do the things that we do as humans, and what's the next evolution of that, and so we can kind of stay ahead of the curve, right? But if you think about it, when you as a human recommend, when you go to a great restaurant, right, you love to tell other people to go to that restaurant. When you have a great experience somewhere, we just love, as humans, we love to be able to give a referral to somewhere where we know that the other individual is going to have a good experience, right? We feel good about it. And then when they come back and they're like, oh man, thanks so much for recommending so-and-so, I had a great experience. It's human nature. We love to do that, right? So the key is, if we understand that human behavior is your friends and family, whether they even realize it or not, want to be able to recommend you. They do. They want to be able to tell all their friends and family that they need to come use you, including people who have never actually used you to buy or sell a home, right? But we have to build that, right? We have to build that trust. We have to build that expertise. We have to build that layer that then makes your friends, your family, especially those who haven't actually used you in that environment, to feel comfortable and confident to recommend you. And that's where a lot of the strategy comes in. That's where a lot of the tactics that we're going to talk about today come in, because they actually build that framework inside of your friends and family mind that, okay, they really do know what they're doing, right? They really are good at what they do. And once that happens, then they're going to feel really confident the next time they're at the hairdresser and someone says, man, I really think it's time to move. They're going to be, oh my gosh, you have got to call Jeff, right? Jeff, there's literally no one better. I mean, go on his Facebook, you're going to see that he's selling blah, blah. And that's how this happens, right? But we have to create that framework and start building that trust and that expertise from a social perspective. And we have to ask for it, right? If you think that if you don't engage, especially one-on-one through Messenger or through some of the tactics we're going to come today, and you don't engage with your sphere at all and don't ask for the business ever, they're not going to give it to you. It's not like they're mad. They're just walking around their day. They're like, I wonder if I can go find or refer to Jeff today. It's not going to happen. But if Jeff reaches out this morning one-on-one and says, hey guys, listen, we are selling homes like crazy. I need your help. If you know anyone, if you're just going about your day today, go to the grocery store and you find anyone, please give them my name and phone number. I really need help. Now they're thinking about it, right? It's in the back of their head. Now, when that conversation happens, even if it's 3 days from now, that's Jeff's the person that they're going to think of. So just want to lay that foundation before we dive into the role playing and some of the tactics.
That's a great point. And let's dig deeper on one of those points, because if you don't do this, it's never going to work for you. And I think it was spot on this one. Most of your friends have never used you. Most of your friends will never use you, because there's a lot of your friends that are never moving, right? And if they do, they have a cousin who's an agent, and they're going to use their cousin. And so let's just be okay with that. Let's just not even think about trying to persuade that situation, because it is what it is. But let's go contextual outside the industry for a second. Let's say that I'm in Brandon, right? And let's say I just moved to Brandon and I'm on Nextdoor app and Facebook, and I get hit with sponsored ads, and I see people talking about Bruno's Burgers, right? There's a new burger joint called Bruno's Burgers, and they send out messages, and I'm seeing on Nextdoor, it says, oh my gosh, I went to Bruno's Burgers and what was the best burger I've ever had, right? And then I see 42 comments come in saying, oh my God, me too. I don't know what they put on that, but that is just spectacular. Best burger I've ever had. Best burger I've ever had. Best burger I've ever had. Facebook thing. Oh my God, I went to Bruno's Burgers. What a great thing. And I see that Puma post that he went to Bruno's Burgers and he had a really good burger. And then I see that Thomas posted about it. And then I see Rose posted about it. And I like Thomas and I like Puma and I like Rose and I trust Thomas, Puma, and Rose. And then they start to chime in, talk about how Bruno's burgers are pretty good. Now, when I'm talking to Craig and he says, he's talking to me on speakerphone, God, I'm hungry, man. You know what? I'm craving a burger, right? This is life, right? This is life. And I'm going to say, he goes, do you know any place out here? I said, you know what? I've heard about this place called Bruno's Burgers. People are raving about it. It seems like the coolest thing in the world. People love it. And it's somewhere on Highway 60 right there, right near probably where you are. Why don't you hit your phone and find it, right? Perfect example of how business works and how trust flows. Because I've never been to Bruno's Burgers, but if I saw that enough people like Bruno's Burgers and people that I trust like it, people who are like themselves, so I have enough trust built up into Thomas and to Puma and to Rose that I believe them. And so if they like it, I therefore like it by default because I'm like them and I'm part of their tribe, and tribal members like things that are in their tribe. You guys get it? Right? This is the foundation of what's going on because most of your friends have never used you. There is no social proof that you're good. And if you're not posting that you're good, how in the world are you going to do that? If you're not a burger and people aren't talking about you being the best burger, then no one's going to want your burger. We got it? Right? So that's the point of where's your testimonials? I love it. You see Laura, you see Brian, you see people that just pop top of mind because when I'm scrolling on my feed, I said, oh, nothing makes me happier than a great testimonial like this. And then they snapshot in their real satisfied approach or a Zillow thing or a picture of them at a closing with somebody. Guys, that's the proof. That's the social proof. That's what's going on. So your friends who are scrolling say, oh my God, there's Laura Wolf again. She closing it. Look at that testimony. They don't even read the damn testimony because are you going to post a bad one? Nope. They just know that you posted something, therefore good. So Laura post real estate, Laura equal good. Scroll. And Laura doesn't care that they read every word. She just wants to know that she made an impression that she's good at real estate. That's the whole point. So over time, she's becoming the most recommended burger in Brandon, right? She's becoming the real estate agent of choice on that one. But if you're not doing these things, guys, you're missing the boat. And if you're not leveraging us, you're really missing the boat because as great as you are crushing it with 50 deals right now, you didn't do 20 yesterday, right? And 30 today. And you're not going to do 3,000 this year, right? And you haven't done 60,000 of them. You got it? So when you start to tag on to us, that's the whole point. One McDonald's is good, right? But they haven't sold billions and billions of billions, right? But they leverage the fact that they have. Right. So therefore that equals good. And that's the brand, that's the trust. So if you're not leveraging the brand, guys, it doesn't make any sense. We're paying for the brand. We might as well leverage it. Right. So this
especially as new agents, right? If you're new to us or you're new to the business and you're sitting back going, well, I don't have any sales. I don't have any testimonials. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have a ton to be able to share and talk about because as a brokerage, there's a lot going on, right? You get a hot sheet every single day. Whether your deal is on there or not is irrelevant. If you just shared the metrics off of that, I promise you, the people that are scrolling through your feed are not going, I wonder if he actually sold 1, 2, 3 street and clicking off. They don't care.
Woohoo, right? We sold 23 homes today. Woohoo.
Yeah, exactly. Right. If you're just sharing what we're doing, you are subconsciously putting yourself in their mind as being, they're busy. Wow, they're selling a lot of real estate, right? And you know what? They're not even realizing that they're associating you to that until 3 weeks later, they happen to be at a gathering and someone mentions moving and they're like, dude, you got to call my friend John because, I've seen him post every single day. They're selling a ton, man. You got to call him. That's how this happens, right? And it's over time. It's consistency, right? It's why so many agents do market reports and they're boring, right? For the most part, there's a couple that I think do it really well, but a lot of times they're boring. But what is it really that they're doing? Did they sell all the homes in that market? Nope. But they're creating confidence and they're associating themselves to what's going on in the market. And when the market is good, it's giving the consumer confidence. Oh, wow, real estate is good. Because here's what's happening, guys. There's so much negativity. We talk about this a lot. There's a lot of negativity on social network. There's a lot of craziness going on in the world. And all of that can affect the consumer confidence, right? So there's a lot of people that because they can't go to their bar, their favorite bar for the next 2 weeks, are assuming the entire world is in dismay, right? They are so many people that cannot comprehend that we are selling 20 to 50 homes a day. They can't believe it, right? There's no way you could do that, but we are. But they're not going to believe that, and they're not going to know that unless we are consistently reminding them of it. Now, I am not saying every post needs to be real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. But that's kind of the purpose of our daily posts. Because if I give you a piece that's not always real estate focused, right, and is more life focused and things that your sphere will just relate to, then that's a great thing to post. But now when you hit them with something that you've accomplished, whether it is a recent sale, whether it is a under contract, whether it is the hot sheet because you don't have any listings of your own yet, and that's fine too. Now we're hitting them on two different levels, right? And it's not that hard. We're not asking, like, we're giving you all the information. All you have to do is put it in a post and hit click, right? So just from a tactical perspective, this isn't that hard, but we've got to do it consistently.
And then also one thing I want to add is for those of you who are not new, you're new to the new person. Okay. So when you meet Bobby Smith out and they get your card, they don't know that you're crushing it at 60 deals a year. How would they know that? Right? They feel your confidence. But if you're not posting about your successes, you're just a brand new agent to them because you're not known, you're not trusted, you're not in their tribe. So you're just like somebody brand new, and they're going to check you out. They're going to find your Instagram. They're going to find your Facebook. They're going to search you on Google. And if your bio is not sharp and you're not posting some stuff, you're going to miss the boat, right? So you are new to your new person. So I think that's something that sometimes we forget.
Very true.
Right.
Now, the other thing is we also have to keep in mind that if you are doing a really good job, like really good job, 10% of your following is actually going to see that post that you're making, right? So let's assume that you have 1,000 friends. If you're doing a really good job, 100 people of those 1,000 are actually going to see that post in their feed, okay? So if we're taking that into account, we need to realize that us just posting it into the feed is not enough if you really want to drive your business, okay? Because most of you don't even have 1,000 friends. So we have to get more tactical. We have to get more hands-on. So my suggestion is you may want to start leveraging Instagram DMs, Facebook Messenger, whatever platform you're going to be on. Even if you created a post, or even more organically, literally just go into your thing and say, you know what, I'm going to message 5 people this morning, 10 people this morning, 10 people in the afternoon, 10 people in the evening. If you just did 10, 10, and 10, and this is part of our daily marketing guide, which we haven't talked about in a while, but 10, 10, and 10, you're going to send 30 direct messages a day, right? And if those messages were, hey, Jeff, what's going on in your world? I hope everyone's safe and healthy. Hey, just wanted to put it out there. We are selling homes like crazy. The real estate market is still super sound, but our biggest challenge right now is inventory. If you know anyone, man, please send them my way. And if I can help you in any way, please let me know. Again, hope the family's well. Boom, done. Anything like that. Or, hey, Jeff, just got a listing in On the Water, Madeira. Who's a neighbor? You know, I know you live there. I know you love it. Who's a friend that doesn't live there, right? Kid. And who's the first person that pops into Jeff's head? Me. So he's gonna be like, yeah, my friend Mike needs to buy here. Blah, blah, blah. Boom. And he's gonna now share that listing. Hey, Mike, you should check out this house, right? This is how this works. So if you have a listing that you just got and you know that you have friends and family that live in that area, message them that listing and say, hey, we just got this listing on 123 Street. Who is a friend that you want to live next to you, right? Let's pick your neighbor. Now's your opportunity. Or, hey, Jeff, I just sold this house that's 5 doors down from you, right? Who else do you know that might want to be selling in the area? Anything like this, we got to start engaging one-on-one, right? And I know it's grassroots, but this is where business is really built, is in those trenches. So let's get tactical on that.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to show you a script that I am going to share with you guys after this, but I don't want to yet because I want you to follow me and the logic on it. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. All right. So it doesn't have logos or anything on it. It's just real raw. Here you go. All right. So it starts like this. Hey, Puma, I need your help. Right? If I am a friend of Puma, those words are very important because he wants to help me. Okay. And we have a serious problem in real estate right now. Buyer demand was majorly pent up due to COVID, and now it has unleashed. And plus, rates have fallen to all-time lows, the nearing the twos, which is the lowest of all times. It's the busiest we've ever been as a company in almost 30 years, selling 30 homes a day. Plus, to make it even crazier now, people are beginning to realize now that they're loaded with equity and they could put that down on their next house with the crazy low rates and actually have lower payments than they have now and live in a better home, right? So here's where you can help me. You know people I don't know. We need more homes to sell. So listen, I'm curious. Who do you know that's even remotely close to considering a move, or that might possibly hypothetically consider a move if the price was right? Okay. Now, listen, let's talk a little further. Who's having kids that you know? Who's getting a divorce? Who's got life changing for them? Who's got a job change? Or who do you know that might even be thinking about getting a different house, especially after the quarantine experience, that might want to do something? Who can you think of, man?
Yeah, I mean, my friend John actually was just telling me the other day that him and his wife are going to be splitting up. So I'm assuming he's going to have to do something with the house.
Sorry to hear that, but it's probably the best financial time in the world for them to do that with the value of their home. But if you're close with him, man, you know I'm good and I'll have his back. And this is the best time ever for him to put a bunch of cash in his pocket. So will you please connect me with him?
Yeah, no, I'll definitely, I'll shoot him a message and tell him to give you a call.
Cool deal. Yeah, keep your eyes and ears open for me, man. I'll check back periodically. What's going on in your world, man? What can I do to help you?
Nothing, man. Just celebrated the kid's birthday over the weekend, and
nice.
You know, birthday of America.
That's nice. You don't have to pay for the fireworks display. You've got it all built in. Those good timing.
No, exactly. Yeah, it's one big celebration altogether. Although I did want to kill my dog because he is not a fan of fireworks, but. You know, we got through it, and yeah. Any what's going on in your world? Anything else I can help with?
No, that's it right now. We're just not so. All right. So anytime you hear, I want you to have like superhuman hearing. Anybody says anything about real estate, you need to pounce on them and shove them my way. Right. I'm going to take good care of them, and it's a really interesting situation we have right now. So, how about you guys? What are you guys doing with your house?
Well, you know, we have a friend. Yeah, I mean, we have a friend that keeps pushing us to move to the water, but you know, it's tough right now, man. Kids are in their schools. They love it, so we really have to probably have to stay here for the time being. There's not a lot of options to stay in the same school.
Didn't you just take your son fishing?
I did.
Didn't you tell me that? Didn't you send me a text that he loves it and would love to live on the water?
He did say that, but I don't think he meant it.
Are you in the business of depriving your children from what they actually want to have a nice life? Is that kind of what the goal of the dad is?
Isn't that the role of every parent?
All right, so we'll stop going on that path. But you guys see how this rolls. But this is the stuff we would talk about because he's part of my tribe, and we talk like that. So that's the thing. So let me roll back through this script here. Okay, I'm going to dissect it because there's some things in here. I need your help. So first of all, do you see how that worked? That's me asking him specifically for help because I specifically need help and he knows people I don't know. Every single bit of this is true, right? So for your ability to say things, you have to believe what you're saying and know that it's true. Everything I'm saying is true, right? I need your help, true. We have a serious problem in real estate, true. Buyer demand was pent up due to COVID, true. And now it has unleashed, true. Rates have fallen to all-time lows, true. They're nearing the 2% in the 2% range, which is the lowest of all time, true. We're the busiest we've ever been in a company in over 30 years, true. We're selling 20, 30 homes a day, right? And to make it crazier, people are now realizing they're loaded with equity. Now let's pause there. So what I started to do here is I laid the groundwork in the first paragraph as all the truths, okay? So inside he's saying, yep, I get it. Plus, to make it even crazier, people are now beginning to realize now that they're loaded with equity and they can put that equity down on a nicer house and actually have a better, lower payments to have a better home. What is that subconsciously designed to say, to do? To make him think for a second and to make him ask me a question later. So wait a second, what do you mean? What do you think equity? You know, my wife, we were talking about remodeling our home and making a nicer kitchen or something. And I said, well, before you do that, why don't we see if there's a nicer house with a badass kitchen already that you can get in for lower than you're paying right now, right? See, this is designed to spur on conversations on this one. So here's where you can help. You know, people I don't know, true, and we need more homes to sell, true. So I'm curious, who do you know that's even remotely close to considering, or look how loose I made this, or might possibly hypothetically consider a move if the price was right? Who on the planet wouldn't possibly hypothetically consider a move if the price was right? Okay, everybody, right? So now we're giving them permission to let us in. Okay, we're giving themselves permission to help their friends, because who wouldn't want to help their friend make some money on the same way? So, and then I wrote chunking down, right? And chunking down, I want to just remind you of a concept, because if I say to Puma, who do you know that's thinking about selling their house? His mind explodes, because there's 400 million people and he can't possibly do that data search right now. So he's going to park it and just say something lip servicey to get rid of it. So I'm going to counteract that by chunking it down and saying, hey, Puma, who in your world, let's do this for real. Do you and Courtney have anybody who's pregnant right now? Do you know anybody who's having a kid right now, Mike?
We do, yes.
Okay. Do you see what just happened inside of Mike's head is I scattered out the 400 million people, and I how many people do you know that are having a kid right now?
There's one that comes to mind that we're close with.
Okay, so there's one that comes to mind that he's close with. So I just got one to pop out of his Google search. Okay. Now, who do you know that's maybe possibly getting a divorce? Do you know anybody?
We do, yep.
Okay, how many people?
One.
Okay, so he's got one. How many do you know that are going through any type of life change, right? And I'm saying that delicately, because I don't want to say, hey, who do you know that's dying, right? Or who do you know that's sick, or who do you know what's going on? Is anybody going through a life change? Okay.
Not
Somebody,
that comes to mind.
Not that comes to mind. Great. I'm happy. That's great. Who do you know that's have a job change? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I know a couple of people that just recently changed jobs.
Okay. And that's either a good thing or a bad thing, or they laid off or promoted. And I don't really care, but a job change. See, what I'm doing is I'm filtering out his search criteria, and he's popping out results on everything that I'm saying. But if I say, hey man, you know anybody who wants to sell their house? Boom, no. Way too much to ask me. I don't want to expend the effort to go through the search. So goodbye. I hope your kids are well. See ya. And they'll say, sure, I'll keep you in mind, buddy. Have a great day. Click, right? And it was a wasted time until I chunk it down. So now that I've
I think it's important to understand what we're asking too, right? When you ask, do you know anyone who's thinking about selling their home? I have no idea what my friends are thinking about their home, right? I'm not in that relationship. I have no idea if, for the most part, what they're financially thinking about.
Yeah.
But we do share life events, right? So I will, if I'm close with them, I'm going to know if they are thinking about getting divorced. I'm going to know if they're pregnant, right? So the point too here is subconsciously you're searching for a yes. You're searching for them to start saying, yeah, I do, right? So we have to ask questions that we know that they're actually going to have the answer to. And they're not going to always have the answer to, are they thinking about selling their house? I have no idea. Are they having a baby? Yep. Right? So when you ask me that question, the answer is yes. Are they thinking about selling their home? I have no idea. But you know what? That's not that person's job to tell you that.
That's
all
right.
You want is, that's your job to go figure that out and to see if you can provide that service. But all you want to know is who is doing those, who's having that life event, because the life event tends to be a catalyst, right, to what you ultimately want, which is that listing
and
or that sale.
But let me jump in here, because this is extremely important. What I'm really doing here is I am going inside of his head and I'm wiping away the dust that he doesn't care about real estate, because his world is not real estate. But now, anytime real estate comes across his world, I'm there, right? I just took over the real estate spot of his brain, right, by having this conversation. So here's the point. I might not get a lead right now, and I most likely will not. And that's totally fine, because what I'm doing is I'm planting the seed for when he goes to his son's baseball game on Friday and he's bullshitting with the other coaches right in between innings, and they say, man, my mother-in-law is moving here from Colorado. I got to find her a little townhouse somewhere. Boom, real estate conversation. Boom, my face. Okay. All because I had this conversation on Monday. This is Friday, right? You guys, this is the point. This is you earning the spot in their brain for real estate. And we're having all truthful conversations. You're a professional. You work with a great company. You got an amazing brand behind you. The market is nuts. We just went through all the reasons why. And now we're just saying, hey, I need your help. We need some more business, guys. I am real estate. I need your help. And now they have a form of ownership because they're part of my tribe. Nobody wants to let a member of their tribe die, right? When somebody just told you they need help, you're going to help them. We're good people by nature. Somebody needs your help, you help them, right? And so from a subconscious search level, he's now going to walk through the rest of his week with real estate top of mind, with his reticular activating system now activated because I activated it. And when he hears somebody talking about real estate, I'm most likely to pop up in his brain right now. That's all we did. So strategically, I'm going to go through my list of people to find out who are the people that know the most people, and I'm going to go to them first, right? And I'm going to go walk down the list. I'm going to have this exact same conversation with them, and it's going to take me 5 minutes per conversation. I can do 10 of these a day. Life is good, okay? But this is absolutely needs to happen. Now you want to scale this. This is your text for your auto networks, right? You can tweak it a little bit, and now you can hit your entire database for free because we have the software loaded up on our computers for you to do it, right? This is, guys, if you're serious about this business, you've got to be top of mind, and you might as well be top of mind with people who already know you, like you, and trust you, or else you're wasting time. Like, why would you even bother spending time cultivating generic Zillow leads of people that inherently don't like you or trust you, and they view you as an obstacle to what they want, which is just information to buy a house? They have all the information on the house. They don't need you. You're aggravating to them because all they want to know is, is go see it, right? And I think if you haven't seen what Open Door and those guys are doing, they're making our role very less relevant, right? So we have to become more relevant and more prominent in everybody's mind that we deal with right now. And this is the thing, these are the things we need to do that. So that's the super tactical part of this one, is you reaching out to the people that you know and having this conversation with them. Now, what's the drunk monkey going to say inside your brain?
I'm gonna come across as salesy. They don't care about real estate. I'm gonna, I don't want to be that slimy salesperson. You're disrupting their day. You're bothering them. As Karma just said, this is the stuff you're gonna sell yourself.
Right, Karma wrote in, I'm bothering them.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, this is real. We're your business partners here, right? Get it? We make money when you make money. Right. So, and we like to make money too. So if we're going to crack this code and help you do this. Cause show of hands or just comment back. If you can truly get comfortable with this, can you see your business would go up? Right. Be honest with yourself. If you would make a commitment to doing this to your people that you know, would your business go up? Right. Yeah. And I got hands going up all over the place. And Karma, thank you for your honesty. Right, you're bothering them.
But Karma, let's play this out, right? Because this is how I always deal with things like this, because we all battle with stuff like this mentally, right? We all do it. So here's how I always play this out. What is the alternative, Karma? Okay, so let's just say you are annoying them. Now you're bothering them. Let's say that message does bother them when you send it to them. That means that they're not going to use you because you're annoying them. Okay. That means that if you didn't do it, do you think they magically would be like, yeah, let's just send Karma business? It's not going to happen, right? So when you think about it, what is the alternative? The reality is you're either going to create the opportunity to get that referral business by actually asking for it, and maybe they say no. Maybe they're bothered by it. Maybe they get annoyed, but maybe they say yes. Or you don't say anything at all and you don't bother them, but you also still don't get any business.
Hey, I'm going to interject some things you probably don't want to hear, right, into this conversation, Karma. and you know we love you. And I'm going to preface this statement by saying that the real reason that you think that you're bothering them is because you don't think you're good enough, right? And you think that they probably wouldn't refer you because you're not good enough. And it's not just you. I'm using you as an example for those of our who are having the same thought process. So here's the issue. Karma, you always have great individual style as a person. Do you have somebody who does your hair that you like and trust that you go to repeatedly? Right. And I'm pretty sure the answer is yes. And I think you know where I'm coming for this one. Yes. Okay. What's her name or his name? And she's typing this in while we're doing this one. Julie, right? How long did it take Julie's name to pop out of Karma's head? There's a lot of stuff in Karma's head right now, but she just popped out with the name Julie because she liked that. Now, my mom let's say my mom's hairdresser is out of town for 4 months and she really needs somebody really good. And she says, Karma, I need to get my hair done. I have an event coming up this weekend. Do you have anybody that you trust that you think that that you would send me to? I really can't afford somebody to screw this up. Do you have somebody good? Right. And I would think that Karma is going to say, here's Julie's phone number. Okay, but why would Karma say, here's Julie's phone number? Because psychologically, she wants the win. Psychologically, she wants my mom to say, thank you. Okay. Psychologically, she wants to know that she helped a member of her tribe. Guys, this is primal, because she knows she's good and she'll have a good experience. So you are the Julie to your sphere, except you haven't told your sphere how good you are. And if they haven't, nobody here has known Julie. Nobody knows Julie, but I trust you enough to know that I would say, Mom, call Karma. She's got a good hairdresser, right? You see how this works? So, but that's enough social proof for me. So what we're doing with this one is if you're not showing that you're good enough, then you're going to feel uncomfortable reaching out because you're subconsciously have that doubt, fear, and anxiety. So most importantly, you need to make sure that you're leveraging as good as you are, because you are a great agent. You need to leverage your company, leverage your office, leverage your brand, leverage everything. And so they know that when they're hiring you, they're hiring everybody associated with you. Guys, this is really, really important, because if we all know this is not brand new. You guys have all heard this talk, right? But we're repackaging it in a certain way because it's not being done to the scale it needs to be done. And the only reason that makes sense it's not being done to the scale it needs to be done is because there's a subconscious reason that's holding you back. It's that unconscious resistance that's keeping you back. Now, if you knew that every time one of your friends referred a friend to you and they got glowing reviews and a thank you, and the friend bought them dinner because they referred them to you, you would feel really comfortable making sure that your friends shouted out to you all the time. Guys, this is the whole point here, is this is planting seed. This is making them know that things are awesome. Okay, I really, really, Karma, thanks for letting me use you as an example for this one, but I think it's important to go out of context sometimes into different points. But guys, Absolutely. We have to do this.
Now, there are people watching this that are going to sell themselves in the fact that they don't have the sphere, they don't have the local sphere, they don't have, that built out to be able to reach out to and get help. So I just want to address that real quick, because there's really two things to that. Number one, you live in an area in a state where almost everyone wants to be. So this would be a lot harder if you were moved from Florida to Kentucky, because you're going to have a hard sell of getting anyone else to go from Florida to Kentucky with you. But if you lived in Kentucky and you moved to Florida, there's probably a lot of other people in your sphere that were in Kentucky that want to be in Florida at some point. So that's the good news. Here's the other thing. There's still things that you can be doing that use this similar script and this concept to drive your business. And so just throwing some things out here. I'll use my neighborhood as an example. In the last 60 days, I watched 3 different homes in my neighborhood come on the market, all 3 different real estate companies. And they all sold within 1 week, right? 2 of the 3 actually sold, were under contract in under a day. But what I watched what happened, and they were all very close together. One came on the market and sold. Then you could tell that the neighbor across the street who had been thinking about it was like, huh, that sold really fast for a good price. It is time to sell. Boom, list their house. They sell. Somebody else saw that they sold very quickly. Boom. So how can we take advantage of that? We know that that's happening, right? Look at our hot sheet. That's happening to a lot of you. A lot of you are experiencing, I put a house on the market, it's priced well, boom, it's selling in hours, days, weeks, very, very quickly, right? So could we use this type of concept, go into Remine, whether you had the recent sale or not, go to a house that recently sold in the area that you are working and say, you know what? I'm going to look up in Remine the 10 homes to the left, the 10 homes to the right, 10 homes across the street. And I'm going to spend today and I'm going to message something similar to this, all 30 of those people, and say, hey, don't know if you saw, but 123 Street just sold for X amount of dollars. Based on what I'm seeing and from what I can tell, you have a nice amount of equity. Have you thought about selling your house? And go through a similar script. Use other people. If you don't have the sphere, that the local sphere that you can leverage this exact message to, that's no excuse, right? You still have technology and resources available to you to be able to leverage the sale of what's happening in a market to build consumer confidence, to get a referral. Because even if that individual doesn't want to sell, they may have a friend or family that they would love to have be a neighbor, right? They may know somebody else who's been looking in the neighborhood who maybe tried to buy one of the other homes, that house that just sold, but didn't get it, right? And so it's all about just leveraging what's going on. If you did sell that house, if you are not going back and leveraging Remine to then go and attack the rest of that neighborhood strategically and one-on-one and texting them a message, hey, don't know if you saw, but I just sold the house on 123 Street for $40,000 over the last sale, or whatever the accomplishment was, in 4 hours. And you're not leveraging that to let them know, hey, the market's great, build consumer confidence, let them know that you are the one who knows that neighborhood and you're reaching out. Because here's the reality. In my neighborhood, that should have been one agent. There's no reason that those homes were all done by 3 different companies. No reason, right? Because if that agent did his job, when he sold that first house, he would have reached out to every single person. I didn't get a message. The house was 3 doors down. I should have gotten a message, hey, Mike, do you know that you have $100,000 sitting in equity? I don't know if you saw, but the house 3 doors down just sold. Have you even remotely thought about selling? So my point being, guys, we have tools available to us where we can get very hands-on, very grassroots, very strategic with who and how we're reaching out. So if you don't have a big local sphere that you can leverage messages like this, that's another way to go about doing it.
To that same point, let's say that you were working, like Laura works Bahia Lakes, right? You live Meadow Point, right? So if an agent wanted to work your neighborhood, they should go to the front pylon of that Meadow Point neighborhood and just say, hey guys, I just want to let you know that we've had 3 houses in the last 2 weeks go under contract in the last 3 days. I don't know if you know about what's going on in the market, but we had pent up demand based on COVID. Its buyers have unleashed. And now we've got crazy, ridiculous interest rates, and it's just getting tighter and tighter. So if you even have a remote, hypothetical, possible thought of maybe moving up or moving down or moving around, this might be a generational opportunity you might want to take advantage of, guys. Hit me up, totally confidential. I'll let you know what your house is worth. Let's just talk, right? I don't want to see you let a good opportunity pass by. Here's my number below. Have a wonderful day. Bye, right? And that took 30 seconds. And I have that video and I can now post that in the group page of Meadow Point, right? Guys got it?
100%. And even better than that, what if you filmed John and Linda, who you just sold their house for, and got them to give you a quick video testimonial with your cell phone, and then you post that, because everyone who scrolls through who lives around John and Linda, because they've lived there for the last 20 years, who knows them and sees them, is trust them, John and Linda become your referral source. You may not know any of the neighbors, John and Linda do, right? So if John and Linda say, oh my God, the experience was amazing working with Jeff. He did such a great job. We can't believe we sold the house in 4 days and it's off to our next adventure. We're going to miss this place, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
And you get them, nothing crazy, nothing super edited, literally grab your phone and film that. And then you, text that to every neighbor who might know John and Linda, and also put that in the Nextdoor group page, and then also put that in the Meadow Point community group on Facebook and put that out there. Then now you're creating an opportunity for anyone who knows them and trusts them. And then what are John and Linda going to do? Oh, we're on a Facebook video? Tag John and Linda. And guess what? Now their sphere is seeing it. So these are the strategies that will work, and they're free, guys. They're free. We're not asking you to spend any money. Not once today have we talked about anything where it's like, okay, go out and spend money. No, this is all free. But you got to put in the work. It's time consuming. It's effort. It's, it takes time for sure. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to do it.
100, absolutely. Absolutely. Same thing. Let's say you really wanted to work Andalusia as a neighborhood, right? And you're committed to doing that. It's not just a thought. You could go through Remind and you could find everybody who lives in there. You could send them a little note. You could say, hey, I'm doing a weekly Andalusia market update, and please subscribe to my page and Andalusia Facebook page, and you'll get everybody to like it. And now you got the capture. Now you just do every week. Hey guys, nothing happened this week, but we have 4 properties on the market. This is what happened. None of them sold. Or hey guys, we had 1 and it sold for X dollars a square foot, and market's good, market's hot. You could do that in any neighborhood in the world. So if you are one of the agents that are wanting to raise your price point, go do this in a higher price point neighborhood. Just act as if, guys. I promise you, we have sold properties in that neighborhood. No matter what neighborhood you're talking about selling, we have the experience. We've sold properties in there. That's the beautiful thing about that, right? So if you really want to work Bayou Club, we have sales in Bayou Club. Just leverage that and say, here you go. You want to work Reddington Shores Yacht and Tennis Club? Leverage that. We've sold a bunch there. You want to work Reddington Beach? Go work Reddington Beach. You want to work Anna Maria? Go work Anna Maria, right? But leverage us collectively as a group and get in there and just own it. Okay?
Hold on, we have a drunk monkey.
But even
when you're an agent, they won't let you in there. I'm guessing she's referring to a neighborhood.
Probably talking about Andalusia over there. Yeah, but nobody regulates the internet and email, right?
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize they didn't let you text anyone. That's interesting. Because if I go into Remind and I get your cell phone number, I can text you, and the people at the guard gate, they don't know.
Right.
So we're not saying go door knock. We're saying you can digitally door knock, right?
Or you can manually door knock, or you can go to those 30 doors you just talked about with a little handwritten note and say, hey, you could go super contextual if you wanted to. Hey, Mike and Courtney, I noticed that you've got 100,000 in equity, and I bet you're wondering what type of house might be the next step for you guys. Confidentially hit me up. I'll tell you what your house is worth. It might surprise you. Love, Shirley Smith. And that goes into the mail. And they get a handwritten letter with a little real stamp, and it's going to be opened and it's going to be saved. And you just made an impression. Now that took a lot of time. There was a 3-minute episode and a stamp and a walk to the post to the mailbox, but it was contextual because you wanted more business in that one specific neighborhood, right? Yep. So everything works, guys, and that's our biggest issue. We're just looking to show those of you today, right, that have people that you know, this is a great way to reach out to them and start a conversation to build up your competence, which will inherently build up your confidence, which will build up your mental recall for your sphere that you are real estate. And that's all I want to do today is make sure that you but you got to take the step. Take the step and talk to the people, plant the seed that you equal real estate, and you're going to watch your phone start to ring and text coming your way saying, hey, my buddy Scott needs to sell their house. I told him you're awesome, right? And that's the end game of this thing. This is not to make your friends do anything. This is not bothering them in any way. If they called you and said, if Julie called Karma today and said, Karma, I just had 12 of my clients moved away. I've got some openings here and I really need some help. I got to get some more clients. Who do you know that's maybe in the market for a new hairstylist, right? Karma is going to take that on as a mission to talk to her friends and say, hey, if you're not totally happy with yours, you need to talk to Julie. because she knows she's going to get the atta girl at the end of the story, right? So guys, please build up your presence. Make sure that your Zillow profile is accurate. Make sure that your Century 21 profile is accurate. Make sure that it's attractive. Going back to just a couple other tacticals, does it touch DISC? Does it touch visual, auditory, kinesthetic? Are you attractive to the majority of the people to at least get that first conversation? Because that first conversation is when you get to actually connect and win. But your bio a lot of times is the make or break decision of whether or not you're going to get that phone call or text to begin that first conversation. So let's go back to the basics. Take out your, let's see how you look. Because even when Mike tells his buddy Scott about me as a great agent, Scott's not dumb. He's sitting there on his phone and he's going to type my name in and see what the hell comes up. He's going to see what Google says. He's going to see my profile. He's going to read about my profile. He's going to see my picture. He's going to see if I'm on Facebook. He's going to check on LinkedIn. He's going to look through Instagram. It's going, guys, this is how the world works right now. And if you're not being truly fair and honest with yourself and you're not taking advantage of the stuff, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And probably the golden era that we've ever had in this industry is right now. Over the next few months, you're going to see real estate happen like it's never happened before. And all we want is your business partners to make sure that you're as ready for it as you possibly can be. So that's what I wanted to say today.
Yep, that's all I got too.
So
Do you have any questions, anything before we cut out today and go crush it this week?
guys, this is the best week we've ever had in the history of the world. You know why? Because I decided it's going to be for myself. So why don't you decide it's going to be for yourself? And let's just make it the best week we've ever had in the history of the world. And let's just have some fun. And by Friday, we're going to look back and realize how cool this week was and how you making the steps you're about to make really were a pivotal moment in your career. And it's awesome and amazing. So with that, let us know what you could do. Reach out to any of us, whatever you need, and we have your back, guys. So have a wonderful
We're here
week.
for you guys.
Go make it
Have a
happen.
great week, guys. See ya.
Thanks.